Hi guys, welcome back to Sangriot Reading Acceleration Corner. Today we'll be reading a story called Backfire. It is a short story made from many. The story we'll be reading about today is called The Hustlers. The author is Giuseppi. Scrape, 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 scrape. The sharp sounds aroused Mr. Grasper from his restless sleep. Someone was scraping his luscious windows with a stick. He recognized the sound only too well, for it was a sound he always welcomed in the dead of night. "Who's there?" he shouted. "It's me, sonny boy." "Boy," a voice shouted back. What you want?" inquired Mr. Grasper. The voice called back, You know it be only one thing I would call you for at this time or at night. I come to tell you that old man Goosey Smith dead in." Mr. Grasper was one of the two undertakers in the village, and there was a naturally bitter enmity between himself and the other Mr. Rabbit. In fact, the spirit of competition was such as that the village lads made pocket money by selling first-hand information to them. When anyone was in the village was expected to pass into the great beyond. To make matters worse, the inhabitants of the island or village held on to life with the greatest tenacity. So when the angel of death hovered over everyone, it was likely that both Mr. Grasper and Mr. Rabbit would be there. Now Mr. Grasper lost no time in getting ready. Indeed, it seemed as if he had slept in his clothes so to be prepared for any such emergency, for in a matter of minutes he sped fully dressed into the night and joined Sonny Boy. "Well," he said, "Sonny Boy, I am mightily glad you came for me instead of going for Rabbit. He's too grasping." "That ain't nothing," replied Sonny Boy. Sylvester done gone for Mr. Right, but don't let that bother you. I know a shortcut that will get you there before them, but it's going the cost a little extra." "Well," replied Mr. Grasper, "in a business like tone, $2 $2 a deal." "Mr. Grasper, that don't suit me," said Sonny Boy, very emphatically. $3 final come tell you, and $1 for the shortcut. Besides, I had to leave me one bed to come out in the whole night to tell you that Mr. Goosey did died. No such $4 are nothing doing." Mr. Grasper was desperate. He knew Sonny Boy had not come out of a warm bed. In fact, he doubted wherever Sonny Boy had a bed at all. But that did not alter the situation, and so Mr. Grasper tried again. "Let us make a deal. $3.50. I am a poor man and I am not turned out. For 4 months, you know people in this village don't die regularly." Sonny Boy smiled to himself. "Look, Mr. Grasper, you gonna let 50 cents make you lose the turnout. Make up your mind and done. I can't stand out in the arguing with you the whole night." Mr. Grasper knew only too well that if he did not pay the amount asked for, he would not be able to rely on Sonny Boy to bring him home welcome news in the future, and in frustration he cried, Okay, let us go. Hold me hand. I can pull you long faster than you think. Run," suggested Sonny Boy. Mr. Grasper held on to Sonny's hand, hand for their life, and together they raced through fields of banana trees until they reached the yard of a low slum bungalow. Mr. Grasper was panting and gasping for breath, but there, in the seeming darkness, he discerned of Mr. Grub struggling towards the house, and with a sudden burst of energy, he ran toward he ran forward and reached the top step of the veranda just as Mr. Rabbit reached the bottom step. It was indeed a race to death. In all fairness, it would have seemed that Mr. Grasper had won, but Mr. Grub refused to admit defeat. I ain't living until the dead family decide which of we going to bury the dead, he announced to Mr. Grasper. Mr. Grasper ignored him. He straightened his tie, adjusted his beaver more firmly on his head, and knocked at the door. The door was opened by Mr. Goosey Smith's daughter. Come in, Mr. Grasper and Mr. Rabbit, come in. Both of you. Puppy is dead already. Mr. Grasper smiled the sickly smile he thought expressed his embarrassment at having to perform such sad duties. Miss Connie, he perceiving, I am rich first. It means prompt service. Mr. Rabbit promptly joined in. Miss, kindly let me express my deepest sympathy. A tear rolled down slowly down his cheek. I delayed a bit, knowing that you would wish for a little time to pray at the sight of your loving departed. He was a dear friend of mine, and I always had the greatest respect for him. Therefore, I do not intrude, but you know, courtesy and efficiency has always been my motto. Miss Connie smiled sadly. I don't know what to do. Pappy always said, come first, serve first. Oh dear, I just don't know what to do. The best thing is for both of you, to look at the body and decide what you would charge to bury him. And then I will choose the best turnout for the littlest amount of money. Mr. Grasper interposed. Miss Connie, my turnout is the best, most modern and up to date. Mr. Grasper joined in by saying, Mr. Goosey is an old man and old fashioned, and I know that if he could choose, he would choose a horse hearse and still got one. Never mind what you think. You both do what I tell you. Miss Connie said, he is in that room, pointing to a door. The two undertakers entered the bedroom. Mr. Grasper Beaver sitting firmly on his head while Mr. Grass's fedora tilted at a precarious angle. In the room, an oil lamp burned low and cast eerie shadows on the body lying on the bed, reflecting from the eye sockets a golden arrow. Glow. Glow. Mr. Grasper rubbed the palm of his hands together, while Mr. Grabbit pulled thoughtfully at his chin. Suddenly, Oat realized that Puppy Goose's eyes were weighted by souvenirs. As everyone knows, souvenirs are very, very rare, and both of the undertaker's men ran along identical tracks. Both made simultaneous starts for the point. Mr. Grasper grabbed from one of the right eye. In Drunko, robbing the dead, will you? Mr. Grabbit sat heavily on the floor, his fedora slipping and sitting on his ear. Mr. Grasper remained as if frozen in a bending position, his hand paused in mid-air. The corpse sat up and shook him maliciously. I know I did going to catch Uno. It croaked. Uno won't learn to let a poor body dead in peace before Uno will fight over him. I make up my mind to teach Uno a lesson. Give the dead a little time to get reconciled to the other side first before Uno will rush in. Old man Goose Smith raised his voice. Sonny boy and Sylvester are to come in. The two boys walked in, their faces confused with laughter. Here, Gosu Smith said, handing them $2. This is what I promise you if you get these two drunker here. Sonny boy turned to Mr. Grasper. Where the $4 you were arranged to pay me? Mr. Grasper recovered himself. Not one blind cent, you outlawed thief, he raged. Mr. Grabbit was having the same trouble with Sylvester. This is robbery, he shouted, getting up from the floor and dusting the seat of his trousers. Mr. Richardson chimed in. Well, boys, don't bother with them. If them peer you, keep all your mouth shut about tonight. If they don't peer, spread out about the village. There was a rustle of nose and two heavy sighs as they and the keeper speed up.
Thank you guys for reading today. I hope you enjoyed that little story that made me laugh so much. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you like the video, comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys. Bye.